One of the most misunderstood questions about Noah's Ark is, how many animals entered the ark, and why did God choose those numbers? People often say, 2 of every animal, but the KJV Bible gives a more precise theological answer, of every living thing of all flesh. 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark. Genesis 6:19 KJV. But later God adds important details that explain purpose, sacrifice, worship, and survival. God, not Noah, determined the number, and God spake unto Noah. Genesis 6:13. Noah did not guess, Noah did not decide, Noah did not experiment. The numbers were God ordained because God owns all life. God preserves creation. God plans for restoration after judgment, in whose hand is the soul of every living thing. Job 12:10. 2 of every kind was the foundation. 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. Genesis 6:19. 2 means male and female. They shall be male and female. Genesis 6:19. Wide for reproduction after the flood, continuation of species, and to fulfill God's command to replenish the earth. The Bible says kind, not species. The Hebrew word is min, not the modern species classification. One kind could diversify later, like the dog kind into wolves, foxes, and domestic dogs, or the cat kind into lions, tigers, and house cats. This makes the ark biblically and logically possible. Then came the 7 pairs of clean animals. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female. Genesis 7:2. So, there were 7 pairs, 14 total of clean animals, and only 1 pair to total of unclean animals. This was before the law of Moses, proving God had already defined clean versus unclean, and sacrifice was already established. Why more clean animals? First for sacrifice after the flood, and Noah builded an altar unto the Lord, and offered burnt offerings. Genesis 8:20. If Noah only had 2, sacrifice would mean extinction. God planned for worship after judgment. Second, for human consumption. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Genesis 9:3. God allowed meat eating after the flood, and more clean animals ensured a food supply and population recovery. There were also 7 pairs of clean fowls. Of fowls also of the air by sevens. Genesis 7:3. Birds were important for sacrifice, environmental balance, and seed dispersal. Like the dove, Noah sent out. Unclean animals were only 2 of each because they had no sacrificial use and were not for immediate food, but were still part of God's creation. God preserved all life. The animals came to the ark by God's hand. There went in 2 and 2 unto Noah into the ark. Genesis 7-9. Noah did not hunt or capture them. God brought them, and the Lord shut him in. Genesis 7:16. It was divine control from start to finish. The Bible doesn't give a total number of animals because the focus is on obedience, not statistics. It was likely thousands, not millions. Mostly young, land-dwelling, air-breathing creatures. Fish and sea life did not need the ark. Why did God save animals at all? They did not sin. God values his creation. They serve mankind, and they testify to God's mercy. He keeps his covenant with all flesh. The ark is a type of Christ. The animals entered through one door, one way, with one provision. Jesus said, I am the door. Salvation is by God's invitation, not merit. Jesus himself confirmed the account in Matthew 24, affirming Noah, the flood, and the ark as history, not allegory. So, to correct common misunderstandings, there were 7 pairs of clean animals, not just 2 of every kind. The ark was large enough because God defined kinds, not modern species, and God restrained the animals. In summary, unclean animals, 1 pair, clean animals and birds, 7 pairs each. These numbers were for the preservation of life, sacrifice, food, and to teach holiness. As Noah did all that the Lord commanded, he prepared an ark by faith. The animals entered by God's command, in his order, for his purpose. The ark was judgment for the world, salvation for the faithful, and a shadow of Christ.